Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of Behind the Building. I got my buddy Will Posey down at Big Oak Garage with me this morning. Will, how are you, brother?
Good, Scotty. You doing all right?
Outstanding. I'm tired like yourself. I was in Indiana and so were you.
Yeah, we were at the U.S. Nationals. I think you were across the state in Auburn, right?
Yeah, about 120 miles north of where you were at. Actually, I drove by you. I told you I'll be coming by you on Sunday at 80. I'll wave.
That's right.
But that was to be invited to a non-car showing event, like, Detroit and your NSRA and your good guys and all that. I mean, that's what you're there is to show your cars. But to go to an NHRA event, to be invited to one of those, that's a drag racing event,
Started, every car there had to be invited, and then they give away the Bob Daniels Memorial Award, which they give away one award at this show. That's it. And, we went mainly because we were invited, and it's the U.S. Nationals. I mean, it's a bucket list thing. And a lot of people probably don't know, but my father and I used to drag race together, and we hadn't been to a drag race together in 15 years. So for that to be the U.S. Nationals, and we get to take the dart, that was really cool. And then we walked away with the Bob Daniels Memorial Award. So, I mean, it couldn't have been a better weekend for my father and I and Big Oak Garage.
Right on. How cool is that, but that's where the whole passion comes from too, right? I mean, you're out in the garage, you're in the driveway, you're working on these cars, you make them faster, and a lot of families, my family included, if it wasn't for cars, I don't know what my dad and I'd talk about.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's not all that much, a little bit of college football or whatever, but really, cars are what we might mainly speak of,
I agree. And, it gave my father and I something to do, and we went at it hard too. I mean, we didn't just, dabble around at the local tracks here. I mean, we traveled and raced, and that's where my dad and I really bonded at. And he put me over driving when I was 17 years old, and the rest is history on that.
Right. So tell me, how'd they treat you?
Man, I got to give a big shout out to my man, Dan Duffy. We get there, and him and Eileen have become pretty good friends. And man, we got on top of the roof of the press box. Big shout out to Exalta. We got to go up in their suite. It was, and a big shout out to my boy Joe. He's actually a Matco district manager, so we got to go tour Don Schumacher Racing and go through Antron Brown's trailer. I mean, it was an epic weekend. I'll tell you, it was an epic weekend.
And what's really cool is you were telling me, because you won the trophy, the top award there for this, and that now when someone does that, then they invite you back every year.
Yeah, they invite you back every year, and something else that was pretty cool that happened when you win, when they do driver introductions, they introduce the winner of the Bob Daniels Award also. So, I'm standing there with John Force, Jason Line, Greg Anderson, Fast Jack Beckman. I mean, all of them, Antron Brown, they're all right there, and I'm in line with these guys. And of all people to follow, I have to follow John Force on stage.
Well, I figured they figured you could handle it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you built that car, surely you can come behind it. But tell me a little bit about Bob Daniels.
Bob Daniels was pretty well responsible for getting drag racing on this side of the Mississippi. Him and Wally Parks worked together hand in hand. I'm not 100% on my facts, but I know he had a lot to do with the drag strip there in Indy. I know he ran it for a number of years, him and his wife Eileen. He was responsible for the Hot Rod Reunion in Pomona and the Hot Rod Reunion in Bowling Green. He was the District 3 rep for NHRA for a long, long time. Just overall had a huge impact on NHRA drag racing on the East Coast.
And then it's his wife that puts this on.
Correct. His wife Eileen, Of course, Bob passed away about 8 or 9 years ago, and his wife Eileen wanted to do something, you know, a memorial for him. So how it all kind of really started was they picked 50 cars at the Pomona Hot Rod Reunion, and then they picked 50 cars at the Bowling Green Hot Rod Reunion, and all 100 are invited. And then if some can't make it, then they'll invite other top cars in the country.
So it's 100 cars that were there.
Well, there wasn't quite 100. You know, some people just can't make it.
I got you.
It's Labor Day weekend, and
Right.
it is a 6-day long event. So,
you had to be there all 6 days?
Yeah, we got there on Wednesday, and we didn't get home till this morning about midnight.
Holy.
So it's not over till Monday.
Right.
And we were lucky enough to get invited with the Dart this year, and you know we wasn't able to go to Bowling Green or Pomona, but we were lucky enough to get invited with the Dart. And you know, it's something if you want to do, you can contact Eileen and try to get your car accepted.
Well, first you should show up to the West Coast Hot Rod Reunion or the Bowling Green Hot Rod Reunion. That's
Right.
that's the most direct route, right? Because
That's-
that's where they pick the 250 cars from.
Exactly, that's the easiest way to get invited.
So what do they do? Set you all up in the pits or something?
Yeah, well, there's like a little courtyard area right behind the sportsman side pits, right behind the stands. And if you ever went to the Good Guys event there, it's where the Builder's Choice was.
Okay.
So that area is pretty well completely closed off to either vintage drag race cars and then the cars that Eileen has brought in for the show. And it was pretty busy all weekend. It was the spot to be.
And so with the ticket to the U.S. Nationals, then this is included in it also.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's all included.
Cool. Well, brother, I thank you for giving me time. Sounds like you got people out there building cars right now. The elves are at work, as I can hear.
Just on the other side of that wall, man. They're hammering on it right now.
And I know you got to get back to that. So, again, I appreciate your time. And, folks, I appreciate you tuning in. As Will told me, I was having an awesome weekend myself, as y'all know, if you followed what I was doing and following reports. But Will kept sending me, he sent me a clip from up on the tower. He sent me, so I don't know where he was at, but he sent me one going, hey, got all the free steak you want and watch this view. And then it was like 2 fuel cars going off at his feet, you know. And so I knew he had had a good weekend and a fun event, and we wanted to make sure, you know, we'd let you all know about what he was into too. So again, thanks for checking out this episode of Behind the Build. See ya.